What's happening? Benton here. Thank you so much for joining me. Just after midnight here on Mountain Time. I suppose some, if not many of you, are on Eastern Time. That'd be 2 a.m., 1 a.m. Central. Should I do the traffic and the weather as well? Perhaps. And as always, I would expect this to be a bit of a slow burn. And anyone who would like to do so is welcome to click that StreamYard link. And I've noticed my diction becoming, my diction seems to be deteriorating of late. So if I sound like I'm speaking deliberately, please bear with me. Perhaps I will get back to the tongue twisters. Shout out to Anthony, who had emailed me a new tongue twister. And I started to memorize that tongue twister. And then for whatever reason, I did not. Something about six sheep or something. And I had trouble even coming up with a title for this broadcast. And if anyone remembers yesterday's live stream, early morning live stream, because of a somewhat expected yet still ridiculous snafu, picking up this load that I'm now hauling, I was supposed to be able to leave the shipper around midnight yesterday night and drive all night. And that got delayed, and I was made to hang out until about 8:30 the next morning. So I only drove about 250 miles yesterday, but I'm fresh. Got a good afternoon and evening sleep, which truck driving tends to equate to 4.5 or 6 hours of sleep. And I was not familiar with this concept before I went into truck driving, but apparently humans tend to sleep in 90-minute cycles, which would explain the either 4.5 or 6 hours sleep. Being awakened in the middle of one of those sleep cycles tends to be a problem, I've noticed. Let me check in with the chat. Welcome to anyone who's here. Perhaps some new subscribers and viewers due to Chalk Body Outline. Supposedly, he's going to be hosting a panel discussion on the N word. That word that I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube or not. Perhaps I will be firing up the nightmaredystopia.com website at some point in the future so that I may speak freely once again. Some of the drivers are already, I just got on the road here, they're already annoying me. Perhaps I'm just cranky and annoyed since it's early in the morning and I'm an old man. I don't know. What did I title this? Subverted Creation, perhaps? I've been working with this concept of the subversion of humanity's collective output at the level of our individual creative abilities via free will, if anybody's into that. Still pulling up the chat here. Aha, there we are. And I'm not sure what it was all about. Paul Unslaved, I caught some of his broadcasts yesterday. I suppose he went on somebody else's panel and was simulcasting it. Man, he went in on Talcott big time, which makes me kind of pat myself on the back for that first time. I believe it was my second appearance on In the Yurt with Books. I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago. I'm bad with time. I'm bad with pastime. What's happening, EBT? Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir. I'm screenshotting that. That's beautiful. Fantastic. Well done, sir. What's up, Snicker Pie? Hello. Welcome. Not fishing for callers necessarily, but if anybody has a desire to call in, they're certainly welcome to do so. That is one thing over time I'm going to have to. Oh, we do have a caller. Fantastic. And one of my favorite parts of this is my eyesight is so bad, I literally have no idea who this is. And if I get trolled, it may take me a moment to figure out how to disconnect. Here we go. I think you're here. Are you here?
This is God.
Oh, yes. Homeless God JG. Welcome. Good to speak with you, sir.
All right.
What's happening?
I can't sleep.
Oh, man.
Yep. Nah, I took a nap earlier. I'm kind of fucked up from a nap.
Well, does this happen often?
Nah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I've heard you on Paul Unslaved here and there calling in.
Why do you say that? Why do you say good?
That you're not having sleep problems? Well, maybe it's not good. I don't know. I'm assuming it's better to get sleep versus not getting sleep.
I'll stop calling in.
To what?
Nah, I'm just fucking around. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was up on Paul's panel, just kind of toying with him.
Yeah, I caught some of that.
Yeah, I was just getting in his head, fucking with him.
Yeah, giving him the business.
I mean, that's what I see. The last couple weeks, that's what I see is he just manipulates people and tries to he toys with minds, and then if you do it to him, he kind of freezes up.
Well, I thought he handled himself okay, but I definitely agree about just his tactics in general. Although I do enjoy his live streams, I must say.
Yeah.
Anything else going on?
Nope.
Yeah, me either. Just got started for the day here, driving all night.
Yup.
Super Bowl's this weekend.
Yeah. Who cares?
Well, I don't care, but it does affect the truck driving if I have to actually pick up a load or deliver a load the day after the Super Bowl. People are very cranky and agitated. 25% of the workforce stays home. Makes it difficult. But I don't think I'm going to be, I think I'll deliver on Tuesday probably.
Yeah.
They're talking about sending me to Salt Lake City, which I don't particularly enjoy driving to the mountains, but we shall see.
Got to switch it up. That'd be a cool ride. Cool little experience.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been out there a couple of times. Actually, the only time I've ever encountered a wrong way driver was somewhere in the general vicinity of Salt Lake City. Somebody went past me, going the other way on the same side of the freeway that I was on.
Was she Chinese?
They were going so fast I could not tell. Thankfully, I was in the slow lane and they were in the fast lane. So
Yeah.
by the time I figured out what was going on, it was over.
Did you? I'll let you go. Did you see that shout out I gave to you with the your first mixtape?
I never saw it, actually. We're so discombobulated as a people that my email, though, I don't know if you do email. My email is bentonja@protonmail.com if you ever want to email me.
Yeah, I'll send you the link and the timestamp tomorrow. I sent your the email about it.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I'd like to see it.
He cool guyed me, but yeah, I'll send that to you tomorrow.
Well, Yurt is, I don't know what his deal is, but we're trying to be friends with him. We're
Yeah,
trying to be internet friends with him.
he's shifty, man.
Well, it reminds me of being homeless and kind of getting sideways with somebody that I knew, another homeless person that I knew for quite some time. And finally, I was just like, "Look, man, I'm just trying to be your friend here. Like, you
Yeah,
know, like,
yeah,
like really, what do you want? Like, I'm already putting all this effort into a friendship. So it's like, I don't know how much further I can go with this. You know, I feel that way with Austin sometimes, but I'm being as patient as I'm able to be. If that makes sense.
yeah. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually, I think.
Yeah, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Appreciate you hanging out for a minute, and come back anytime, sir.
All right, stay black.
All right, man. Later.
All right.
I don't know how to disconnect you, sir. I can't see the screen. You're gonna have to drop off yourself. There you go. Yeah, EBT was asking about my vision. It's crazy, man. I can actually pass an eye exam, although it is getting blurry. But I can actually pass the DOT. Like if I go to the at the revenue office or whatever we're calling that, I can actually pass without my glasses. So, like on my license, I don't even have to wear glasses. But I don't know how much longer that's going to last. But actually, my distance vision is just as good without my glasses for the most part. I have astigmatism, so I get eye strain. Yeah, I can see long ass distance. Can't see anything within 10 feet of me hardly. It's a blur. The things we take for granted. My vision was so sharp for so many years. I guess I just foolishly assumed I would always have effectively bionic vision. Although the night vision is holding up, so I will take my blessings where I can find them. Always good to have EBT in the chat if we haven't bored him to tears yet. Oh yeah, is JG assuming gender? I'm trying to think whose gender did he assume? Yeah, I love talking to those leftist communists sometimes and just using their own shit against them. Like, did you just assume my gender? I've studied a decent amount of material about feminism, gender studies, intersectionality, all of that happy horse shit. So I feel pretty comfortable having intellectual conversations with some of those leftist communists. And as I've stated before, I mean, really, if I'm going to have an intellectual conversation, you know, it's oftentimes going to be with somebody who skews a tad bit leftist communist. Although kill a commie for mommy, uh, and I don't do this as often, but occasionally, like I would be in a Walmart or something, and I would see one of these like EB or not EBT. Chalk Buddy Outline used to call them like a gender studies type woman, although it could be a male. Certainly, you know, all anarchied out with their blue hair and all of this. And I would say, and I would always say it like it's obviously for their benefit that I'm saying this, but I've learned how to not direct it at an individual so they don't have to necessarily feel uncomfortable. I would say, remember, kids, capitalism is bad, communism is pure fucking evil. And then just, dude, the looks would be priceless. Absolutely priceless. If I had any desire to mix with this heathen scum out here, I could probably do some halfway decent uh, IRL content, I suppose. Although I don't know if I would ever have like some of those people have speakers where you can do like a $10 super chat or whatever, and it plays an audio message. Have y'all ever seen those? Get a kick out of that. And I don't think it was a coincidence where I chose to shut down for the night yesterday, which, like I say, is actually like early afternoon into the evening, is right before the way station. No fan of dealing with all these inspections, weigh stations. Oh, EBT, if you're still around. When I was coming into Phoenix yesterday, like, I don't know, 40 miles east of Phoenix, there's a rest area, which I guess it has these signs that the DOT can go in there and turn on these electronic signs telling all the trucks to exit to the rest area for inspections. And I could see it, I could see the flashing lights of the cop cars, and it looked like they already had a few rigs pulled over. So I quickly deduced that all the law enforcement agents were engaged, otherwise engaged. So I just kept going. I was like, "Fuck this! I ain't got no time for this." Meanwhile, I don't even really mind being inspected, although I procrastinated and I have yet to. For some reason, my company emailed me my updated tractor registration, but the truck stops have fax machines. They have no mechanism. Again, it's 2023. It's an information age. I've got a pocket computer with Bluetooth and God knows what other communication uh, protocols, and I can't. And they have a fucking laser printer at the truck stop, but I can't just print out a PDF. What is this? And I'm not. And here's another thing. Why even, you know, settle the hash? Try to have this conversation, with the poor person working at the truck stop. So I just ask. I'm like, hey, can I print a PDF for my email here? And they're like, no, sorry, and trying to explain. I'm like, it's okay. I'm here right now. So I certainly wouldn't be able to just go to the website and find out if this is possible. So I'm forced to interact with a human. So, but then the human tendency they have to babysit and cajole and assuage my feelings, but which is just a pattern. It's like, no, I don't have feelings in this moment, although I am annoyed, but that has nothing to do with this particular interaction necessarily. I'm just seeking the information, ma'am. Thank you for answering my question. I will be on my way now. Unless you'd care to discuss the intricacies of the dystopia that we now find ourselves enmeshed in. Otherwise, I will fuck off to my sleeper cab. Have a nice day. Yeah, JG seems to be holding it together. And people like to make fun of homeless people for having phones. I do want to point out the phones are free, and in fact, if whether you have prepaid or postpaid cell service, you are paying for a portion of homeless of a homeless person's phone, because you may notice these fees tacked onto your bill, and which is somewhere generally between $10 and $15 per line, and the bulk of that goes to this the so-called whatever law that is that created the so-called Obama phone. I think they call it the Affordable Connectivity Program, I believe. So Lord knows when Verizon finally gets around to charging my prepaid debit account. Oh, which by the way, I just had some random $5 Google charge. I got a text, just random charges. This is why I had to get rid of my Walmart. What was that? Walmart Money Card, which is the absolute best prepaid debit card. Because famously, back when my foot was broken, I ended up using a laser printer at a FedEx Kinko's to send my account information to whatever insurance company was administering my workman's comp. And then, of course, since it is a dystopia, they received the information and said, well, actually, we can't do direct deposit into your account. No reasons given, of course. I mean, this obviously, once again, why I say there's no such thing as common sense. It's just, well, we don't feel like using your Walmart money card. But, the laser printer actually shoots it over the internet and over various networks, and it, in fact, has memory and saves the image. So somebody stole my account information, and there's no version of calling these folks in India at the call center and explaining that to them that I don't need a new card sent out to me. I need new motherfucking account number, please. That's impossible, and I won't even attempt to do that accent. But that's especially just accent to accent attempting to convey that information. Inward phones. There you go. Yep. Thanks for listening. Yeah, no shit. How about you? Yeah, so just remember, kids, for every line of cell service you pay for, you're paying somewhere around probably $8 for a homeless and or impoverished person's uh, connectivity. And here's how you know it's a scam. Well, and by the way, America is just scam upon scam upon scam. Obviously, a multiplicity of scams. Uh, it's that no matter what I do, I get bombarded with text messages and emails from every fucking carrier on the planet in the realm. Apologies, didn't mean to trigger you. Oh, he's a globetard. He said planet. Well, no, I'm getting it out of there, but eventually I will no longer say planet. My apologies. But they're constantly bombarding me with these messages to find out if I qualify for the whatever it is, affordable connectivity program, in which they will knock $30 a month off of my service. And now apparently, right before I changed from Walmart Family Mobile, when I started truck driving again, Carlos Slim's heirs, if anybody knows who that is, Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim, founder of TrackPhone, they sold out to Verizon. So fuck, I guess I can go back to the Walmart Family Mobile now. 2 lines, unlimited everything, and 30 gig of hotspot. 2 lines is like $90, even with the fucking aforementioned Po folks free cell phone Obama phone fee. That's a friggin' deal, man. Darkroom Familia. There you go. I like it. I don't know what it means, but I like it. My Fiat. Oh, this is just, by the way, Snicker Pie. Welcome to my Fiat mining rig. We're currently mining Fiat at based on a mathematical equation. The speed of the vehicle is averaging right around 70 miles per hour. So per minute after the government takes a bite out of my ass, actually 2 governments, the state of Arkansas as well as the federal government, as the automatic braking kicks in, as the computer systems decide that I need to be reminded of the difference in speed between my vehicle and these vehicles. Might want to not speed through here, though. Slow it down, buddy. Oh, shit, where was I? Way station. This one might actually be open. Some of these bullshit states, I'm in New Mexico now, even when the way station's closed, they still force me to drive through it. Mississippi does that, and Arkansas. Bastards. Now this guy behind me's decided to start hauling balls. What's up with that, sir? I must have woke him up. Did I wake you, sir? Oh, the Fiat. Yeah, we're mining a Fiat. So I'm just guesstimating off the top of my head something like, what's 20% of, 25% of 55 cents. Doing math. Well, let's not do math as we approach the way station. They got cameras all over the place. They can see right into my rig. Anyway, I don't know, somewhere around 40 cents a mile. So whatever that is, 70 miles an hour. I'm accruing a Fiat that will be, actually was deposited into my account this morning. Yes, $980 something, which is on the low end. Last week was about $13.50. I like money personally, and Paula and Slave, I think it is. He's correctly identified this a proclivity within the larger so-called truth community, although certainly not this niche community. And if we can bastardize the term community, but in that way, but of being kind of anti, like just anti activities that accrue fiat in general. But it's like I lived outside with almost nothing for 6 straight years. Like that shit sucks. Yeah, I mean there are some benefits, but if somebody wants to go out here and basically live with virtually no money, that is doable. But it's sucks. So I will never hate on anybody for accruing fiat. Although if they drive a Fiat automobile, I might find that a tad curious. Is this thing open? I guess it is. Might want to slow our roll here. I've been known to approach these way stations at too high of a speed, which I believe may have actually led to a recent inspection. Most likely, I could have just cruised right on past this bad boy. Nobody would have noticed, but we'll be good. Cruise on in, see what happens. And if we're still streaming, we've got a U.S. Border Patrol checkpoint to look forward to. Although we will be passing the westbound, we're headed eastbound. We will be passing the westbound here shortly. We meaning me, of course. And we're heavy. So I think we're at about 78K. Oh, probably ought to go this way, huh? And actually had to weigh this load at a Love's. I rarely have to scale out any of the loads. Yeah. Oh man. What's he gonna do to us? Woo! Howdy.
How you doing, sir? I'm inspecting the vehicle. I'm gonna do a quick level 3 safety inspection, okay?
You're welcome to do that. I want to let you know they got me in New Mexico about 2 weeks ago on a level 3, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. I can show it to you on my phone, or I'm happy to cooperate. But they literally got me about 2 weeks ago coming west.
Okay.
It's up to you, man. I'm just telling you.
I'm gonna go ahead.
That's fine.
Got you like a violation?
No. It was clean. Sorry, I'm from the South. When I say got me, I mean they pulled me in for a level 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's totally up to you.
I'll just do another quick one, okay?
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah, full cooperation.
Okay, so I just need to see your truck and trailer registration,
Yep.
bill of lading, and driver's license.
Yep. If you tell me what, because last time they had to give me like a code.
Okay,
And real quick, I might get in trouble for this, just so you know. They emailed me my tractor registration, and I've tried to print it out at the truck stop. They only have faxes. I've got it on my phone, but I do not have the paper copy. Okay, cool. And I'll get that printed out as soon as I can. But just go over here and park, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Like I say, I'm happy to cooperate with all that. We'll shut her down if I may. Yeah. Let me go on duty here. If I can. All right, I'm gonna grab the trailer registration.
What's your name, sir?
Jason Benton. Yeah, I got my ID if you want to see it. Oh yeah. I got my medical card if you need that. Try to be prepared.
No, the medical card will be, when I run the license.
Oh, okay. And I just started out. I drive at night, so I just rolled out.
Okay.
Yeah. I know some of these guys are driving like they've been driving for 10 hours already or whatever. I'm not one of them. All right. Log into my email real quick. Yeah, I guess I got to get my pre-pass working. Ever since I've had this truck, it hasn't worked. You know, like the way station bypass. On internet. Here's a trailer. Yeah, and I'm pulling up the tractor right now. Internet's kind of slow. And whenever you give me that code, I'll transfer the logs over.
Okay, yeah, my code is.
Hang on. I forget what it. Do you know what it's under? I always forget where to go.
J-Log
Okay.
and D-Rod.
Okay, I remember now. Okay, and under web services, right? And then comment, I put in.
Yeah, my code.
Yeah.
Would be
NM
363
363
563.
563.
Yeah.
All right.
Send that over.
Got it. Yes, sir. All right. Uh-oh. Come on, internet. Man, it's slow out here.
Can we build Ladington?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think I'm almost there. Yes, I finally got the tractor registration pulled up. Sorry about that. Let me get that printed out as soon as I can.
You mind if I type this up real quick?
Do whatever you got to do. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Whew. Oh yeah. All right.
It is a level 3 safety inspection again. Once again, there's no violations or anything, so you're good to go.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fast. It literally was like 45 minutes last time. I got to get that weigh station bypass turned on. I just keep, by the time I'm done at the end of the day, last thing I'll try to explain to somebody in Eastern Europe that they need to go turn my weigh station bypass. I guess that's going to have to happen. Most of the time, I won't, if I have the bypass, I won't even have to go into it. Starting to wonder if my company did fuck up here in New Mexico. That's the second inspection in 2 weeks. Hope I got all my papers back. I don't even know. We gotta stop and check. I mean, really, it's good that they do inspections, because if they didn't, I mean, it would be really fucking bad out. I guess I could plug in the earbud thing.
Some companies give like a $50 gift card if you get a clean inspection, but I don't think these cheapskates do that. JG's talking about a helicopter with scopes on him. I was camping out. I used to camp out at Devereaux near the UCSB campus in Isla Vista, the unincorporated area known as Isla Vista there in Santa Barbara County, California. And it was technically the campus, but it wasn't anywhere near any of the campus buildings. If anybody really cares, you can go on Google Maps and find Devereaux. It's basically like a bluff overlooking, that's real close to the ocean there. Beautiful beach, by the way. If you ever go to Santa Barbara County or Santa Barbara, don't waste your time going to the beach in the actual town of Santa Barbara or the city of Santa Barbara. Just go ahead and cruise over to Isla Vista. It's for sure the best. Well, it's the best easily accessible beach, I would say, in the area. And FLIR, that forward-looking infrared radar, they have I remember one time driving by a building in that area and it said FLIR on it. Well, one night I was camping out and one of my best homeless friend, Henry, he was camping out. Actually, he's the one that showed me the camping spot. And he had his schizophrenic lady friend with him who was almost entirely nonverbal, but I don't know what was going on, man, but I don't know if they wanted to test out the FLIR, the radar or what, but a literal black helicopter like flew low and like circled around us. It's pretty fucking terrifying, I have to say. It does kind of show how many people have no fucking idea what to do. Because I'm like, they started trying to move around. I'm like, well, look, if that's a human up there trying to get a visual, the last thing you want to do is move. Just stay where you're at. But then, assuming they had the forward-looking infrared radar, they already knew. They had our heat signatures, I guess. Is that how that worked? Motherfucking New Mexico, man. And maybe I should quit coming out this way for a while. They don't fuck with me when I'm on my way to Chicago and back, EBT. Nobody fucks with me. What's this New Mexico nonsense? That's the thing about the way station bypass. Hell, they still probably would have pulled me in and inspected me anyway. What the fuck? And this, by the way, this is what I meant about not being able to drink. Because back when I was drinking real heavy and doing long haul, people were like, how the fuck is that a thing? I guess they just assumed I was drunk. During my shift, I was like, look, I have no fucking idea. I might have to talk to the cops just at any fucking time. Like, I have no control over when and where I will be talking face to face with the authorities. So if you think I'm out here, drunk, I don't know what to tell you. That shit ain't happening. Anyway, never a dull moment out here with the truck driving. Yeah, there you go. JG encountering the black helicopters. He waved at them. Oh, I guess I could put the comments on the screen, eh? Not that I could see it. Mylar blanket. Oh, FLIR is it? Well, yeah, I'm sure it is easy to defeat if you have it, but if you know ahead of time that it's headed for you. I was just asleep. I had no fucking idea it was headed my way. But thank you. That is helpful information. Mylar blanket, eh? I believe Dollar Tree has those, or at least they did last time I was looking around there. I know Walmart does in the camping section, or at least they used to. I believe that's Mylar. Somewhere. I've seen them somewhere. Good old schizophrenic lady cheeks. Yeah. Yeah, she was a fucking nut, man. The thing about schizophrenics is they get the most money from the for the SSI. She got a check instead of every month. She got her check every week, and I don't remember how much it was, but it was a decent amount of money. Oh, hey, we got a caller. All right. Who is this? Is this JG? Is this JG? Who is this?
Yup.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, the government just hassled us. Did you see that?
Yeah, right when you got pulled over, this helicopter came out of nowhere and just did a
Oh,
walkthrough.
they're after us, JG.
I'm skitzing, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, what fun would it be to live in the streets and not skits out every once in a while? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Definitely keep your ears open, though. Watch how these guys are talking to you and try to overhear what they're saying.
Yeah, man. I'll pay attention. Very important.
I keep having this black cop stake me out at Publix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's done it twice, and today I'm biking in. I see him. He's parked, and then he pulls in front of the Publix, and I stalled. I biked right up to him. Not up to him, but I'm biking right by him. I'm looking over, and he looks over, right? Sees me and looks away real quick.
Well, instead of just assuming that you're paranoid, I actually have similar experiences to this myself at times, but in a different kind of way. But I'm being serious. Like this kind of shit it really happens, man. I'm trying to back you up here.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. Now, it's a little different, for how it happens for me with being a truck driver and everything. But I consider it like spiritual gang stalking. That's what I think about it. Yeah, it happens a lot, man. Just weird, bizarre stuff that when you think about it, it's like, there's no fucking way this is just a coincidence. Like, well, come on, man.
I know I'm not tripping because Ben, I know that look, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second time it happened too. And as I'm biking, I'm like a block from the Publix, 2 blocks, biking straight towards it, and I see the cops. I see a cop pull in, and then I see this guy pull in, and right as I'm coming in the driveway, this guy sees me and he fucking pulls away in front of the Publix. I'm pulling up. He gives me that look. Yeah, he gives me that look. I'm like, yeah, you know who I am. I'm like, you guys are on to me. So they're just giving me these signs, man.
Well, and then some of that is, how much of that is designed to actually make somebody go crazy. I mean, some people would lose their fucking mind if that kind of stuff happened to them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're pretty strong-minded individual, so they can't break. Cannot be. No, I'm agreeing with you, JG. But go ahead.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. But go ahead, please.
Well, that's the thing. Like they might be looking out for me, but at the same time, it's like they've tried to drive me crazy in the past. They can say, yeah, we're looking out for Jack. We're trying to help Jack, right? They could be telling my dad that or telling, different cops that. But what they're really doing is they're trying to fucking scare me. But they're gonna act like, oh yeah, we're looking out for him. Man, these cops in Philly, they came up on me, fucking 6 cars, and they were toying with my mind, right? The same thing I was doing to Paul last night, fucking with his mind. They're doing that to me, right, in Philly. And I've had it happen in different cities, and they're trying to break me down and they're trying to psych me out and weaken me out, but it's not gonna work, man.
I know. It's not gonna work.
I can see right through them. They can keep trying to come towards me, but I'm just going to be calm. I'm going to be nice,
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, and some of that is, it doesn't. Some people, it's really easy to provoke certain individuals into behaving in a certain kind of way where now they can be 5150 or they can get arrested or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you know that. So you know not to fall into that trap.
Yeah, it's getting old, It
got old for me, man. After a while, I was like, "Fuck, I'm ready to go do something else."
I'll tell you what, though, when I started talking about it on your stream, right, shit died down.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Almost like, hey, it's just to kind of disprove what you're saying. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of backing off, but,
Well, it's a real thing, man. Like I'm not just saying that. It's because I lived on the streets for so long, dude. It's a real fucking thing.
Yeah, and I've overheard cops talking about me. I was in Houston when this homeless dude pulled a knife out on me, right? I think I told you about that story, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
They all fucking knew what happened. All these cops, they knew what happened, right? I beat the shit out of this dude. This guy pulled a knife out, and I overheard this cop talking about it as I'm at a Chipotle, and he's saying, "Oh, he's got a fuck, what do you call it, man? When you got in your stomach,
ulcer."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, he's got an ulcer." I heard him say that, and he like looks over at me, and actually was getting an ulcer from smoking.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, these dudes are really on my dick. Like, they're really watching my every move, So.
Well, I mean, what else do they have to do? It's not like they're out stopping crime or anything. You know what I mean? Like they got to do something, right?
Yeah, it's funny, man. These cops are on my dick. It is what it is.
Yeah, they like to think they're sneaky too.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. It's like a game.
Cloak and dagger shit.
Yeah. And it's like
they're bad at it, dude. They're bad at it.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's funny.
Well,
not when just in general, it's funny.
They give it away,
Mm-hmm. Well, it's almost like they're so like they want. It's almost like they're almost too cute for their own good. Like they sort of want you to notice. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm so fucking clever. It's like, okay, that's great. If you were really good at this, I wouldn't even fucking know what you were doing right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying with
jackasses.
With the undercovers at Love Park in Philadelphia. These undercovers will come in and they're just staring you down, and it's like, yo, buddy, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, it's a little too obvious. Yeah,
it's like we got to give them some lessons,
Yeah, teach them how to be a little more, a little less obvious.
Yeah. There's a skateboard company, right, called DGK. It's called Dirty Ghetto Kids, and these undercover cops, I swear to God, they would pull up to Love Park. The license plate would say DGK like 175.
Huh.
It was fucking hilarious. So these undercovers would come up, and you would see the DGK, like you would see the car and then the DGK plate, and I would just be laughing to myself. I'm like, these motherfuckers got a skateboard company as their from Philadelphia on the license plate, and they're undercovers like coming in to Love Park. It's just funny shit.
Thinking they're clever.
Yeah. But I don't even think they were trying to be clever. I think it was just a coincidence. It was DGK.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't personally believe in coincidences, but something happened. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's like they had this famous case in Arkansas where these 3 little boys got murdered, and the local cop, and it was tied in with Satanism. So the local cop, this is how a cop thinks. The local cops thought it was cute. They had the case number end in 666, and then tried to claim, well, no, that was just the next number in the sequence, which is obvious fucking bullshit. They just think they're cute, like they're so fucking corny. Like you say, I don't say the word corny very often, but the police are definitely corny.
Yeah, it's comical to them.
Yeah.
They
'Cause I've
make it.
heard people say, "Oh, he's a cool cop," and I'm like, "No, he's cool for a cop. If he was cool, he wouldn't be a cop.
Yeah,
Cool people do not become cops. What are we talking about here?
I have met some cool cops, but they're
Cool
pretty
for a
much.
cop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. Cool for a cop.
Yeah.
They still, anyway. But yeah, I won't contradict you too much there on that. I don't have the energy for the debate right now.
666.
Yeah, 666. Just all thinking they're cute. Yeah, it's a big famous case. They let that one guy off of death row, that Damien Eccles. It's a real famous deal back in the 90s. They made a bunch of documentaries about it, like Eddie Vedder and a bunch of famous people were doing concerts.
Yeah, I gotta
Get
look
these
that
devil
up.
worshipers. Yeah, it's the West Memphis 3 is what they call it. I used to think they were innocent, but the more I looked into it, I think they actually did it. But they all got out of prison on an Alford plea where they pled guilty, but they let them out of prison, which is kind of a strange deal.
These cops that beat up that Tyree kid,
Oh shit, yeah, Memphis.
they're in prison now, right?
I'm not sure exactly. I believe that just happened, so most likely it'll take a while to go through the courts. But that happened in Memphis, that happened pretty close to where what I'm talking about happened.
Yeah,
Just
that's what's
the other side of the river. Yeah, a lot of weird shit goes on in that area, man. That's where the pyramid is. The Memphis pyramids right there too.
I saw a video. My
What?
fault.
Go ahead.
Nah, I cut you off. My bad.
Well, no, they literally found a crystal skull. This is not a conspiracy theory. They found a crystal skull at the top of that pyramid back in the day. Like something's going on, man. There's some weird shit happening over there. But go ahead.
A crystal skull?
Yeah, it was in the newspaper because there was all these rumors of, hey, man, there's a metal box at the top of the pyramid because they built this thing in the 90s. There was all these rumors about it. Hey, there's a crystal skull in a metal box up there, and then there were so many rumors. Finally, they were like, "Fuck it, we'll go check it out." And there was a fucking crystal skull in a box, a metal box at the top of the pyramid. It was in the newspaper. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it's crazy. Now nobody knows why. Why was it there? Who knows? Supposedly it was removed, but yeah, crazy shit, man.
So just not a real skull, right?
No, but made out of crystal, looks like glass.
I got
Yeah.
you.
All right. Supposedly, which is apparently is really hard to make a skull out of actual crystal, but supposedly there was like 7 of these skulls, it's kind of like a whole legend. There was like 7 of these skulls, dispersed throughout the realm, and then I don't know, it's a whole deal that I'm not really familiar with. Bizarre, man, very bizarre.
Yeah. All right, I'm out of here, man. I'm kind of delirious. I gotta just.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just keep your ears open, man. Just
Yes, sir.
Keep that hyper vigilance going.
Yeah, very important. You as well, sir.
All right.
All right, man. Have a good day. You'll have to disconnect. I don't know how to press the buttons to disconnect. So we'll see you later.
I got you.
All right, man. Well, he's still here, but I guess that's okay. It's JG, our IRL correspondent. I guess he can hang around. Like I say, I'm not able to press the buttons to disconnect it. Maybe I am. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. JG, killing me, fam. Oh, there we go. All right, we got it. He's gone. Yep, getting them. Yeah. Hashtag get them, JG. That's right. Oh, you're welcome, Snicker Pie. Yeah, absolutely. I like when people get good rest. Very, very important. High quality sleep. Although I still don't think we need as much as what we're told we need uh, for the brain. I tend to do quite well on 4.5 or 6 hours, but it's some nights more, of course. Okay. Yeah, so it's probably the software, JG. This software, it seems amazing, but half the shit just barely works. I mean, realistically. And even though I have a half a tank of fuel because of the high ass fuel prices, I have to stop at like 100 miles, 90 miles for fuel, and then I'll drive like another 600. Although that won't be until tomorrow, and I'll get fuel again. Every once in a while, there's these fuel stops that are like way less expensive than the other fuel stops, which kind of makes me wonder if we, meaning the truck drivers, are being manipulated in certain kind of ways based on where we're stopping for fuel. Because when my company first decided to actually start managing the fuel stops instead of just letting everybody fuel wherever they felt like, um, there were there's these fuel stations called 19, but the one is spelled out ONE and the numeral 9, and they were tied in with the Pilot Flying J network, and they were way cheaper, so they had us stopping at those. But then one day they just sent out a message. It was like, hey, this 19 is no longer in the network, so you can't fuel there. But I'm pretty sure when I go to the Pilot Flying J website, it still has like the logo for 19. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. A lot of weird shit, man. It's getting weird out here. It's gotten weird out here. Oh yeah. And I don't know how much y'all get into the internet drama. Apparently, I like to follow some of this stuff mainly because I mean, look, I think we all like some drama, and I don't get my emotions tied into it. Like the fucking news cycle triggers me too much, or I let it trigger me sometimes. Although now it's just we were talking about like this Chinese balloon nonsense. It's just so third I can't even fucking process it. But this Bobby Lee and Kalila saga, this ongoing saga, also involving that Brendan Schaub doofus, who we only know about because Joe Rogan had blessed him in, gave him the seal of approval. Rogan is the kingmaker, whether we like it or not. But then because I was actually I was watching his podcast and while listening to it, and then he used to use UStream. He used to go live on UStream, and he used to talk. He got his podcast started. Some may remember he entertained, no matter how ridiculous or nonsensical, he basically entertained every conspiracy theory that came down the pike. And now he's more or less like official story on just about everything. So I find that to be kind of humorous. I don't really watch Rogan ever since he pieced out, because I don't think he even has an RSS feed anymore. I used to download the audio on his RSS feed. And then there was that famous argument between comedian Bill Burr and then Rogan producer Brian Redband about RSS feeds. Anybody's aware of that? Probably not. Not a lot of crossover with the truthers and all this entertainment shenanigans. Oh, Burr is man. I used to like his comedy. He's a fucking bozo now. What happened to that guy? Like now because there for a while his style kind of went. You could tell he was going like anti woke, for clout or whatever, or just to make he was funny at one time. I'm a big comedy fan. He was really funny for a while. He was in with Patrice O'Neal, who's my all-time favorite, other than maybe Richard Pryor. And now he's actually just gone actually woke, but he still pretends to be anti woke, if that makes sense. Like he's just straight up woke now, but kind of covertly woke, I guess would be the way to describe it. Just not funny anymore. And it's not like I say, I used to find him very humorous. And even going back to listening to a lot of these Opie and Anthony radio shows, and that was a big part of that show was that all these big comedians were on there before they got real big. Patrice, Bill Burr, Louis C.K. was on there all the time. Rogan was on there quite a bit. Which, look, I don't care what anybody says. Rogan's stand-up has been funny at times. He's a good, not great stand-up comedian. These people that he sucks, but no, he doesn't suck. He's a skilled, accomplished stand-up comedian, but that's almost like it's like a skill set. I think like it's just something. It's like a muscle that they're able to flex anytime they need to. His actual comedy, I don't. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch one of his specials, but if I do, it's actually funny as far as I'm concerned. Maybe not the recent shit though. I haven't actually seen the recent shit. But that one where he was like imitating a demon and like fucking the stool and everything, that was I laughed at all that. I mean, it's a little disturbing to realize that he's probably a straight up devil worshiper though. Just from I don't trust anybody that is that good at imitating a demon. It's almost like he was channeling this sort of entity. Very disturbing. He had some had some funny stuff about Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah. I'm trying to read the chat here. I see something about Rogan. Some sort of advertisement. Yeah, well, I mean, that is once they got that thing off the ground, because like I say, I was watching or listening to literally every episode before it turned into a business. But yeah, it absolutely people they know when they go on there, it's whatever product they're selling is going to skyrocket. So almost like Oprah. Bruce, yeah, exactly. Bruce Jenner. Who let's not forget that right before Bruce became Caitlyn, Bruce killed a lady in Malibu in an automobile accident. Lest we forget. And Corolla called that shit like 10 years ahead of time. He said Bruce Jenner's turning into a woman. He was absolutely right. Corolla, though, good Lord, unlistenable. I used to really enjoy Corolla. I listened to a show every day for years. Unlistenable. Have I changed, or is he just? I think he's just gotten terrible. He's going through this big divorce, and I think by the time he's damn near broke, although probably he's smart enough to hide some assets, and knows how to live frugally, but I don't know that he's going to be able to make money really. We'll see. Rogan, Alex Jones, and Elon. Yeah, there you go. The three-headed monster. Elon, what a joke. Lone Scum. Shout out to Lone Scum. Yeah, he's shooting himself into space well, he's shooting a Tesla into space and says, you know, it looks so fake. That's how you know it's real. But then simultaneously, he's got the boring company and he's tunneling underneath the fucking firmament, tunneling into the firmament. And he's rescuing Twitter. He's and all these news stories of how he's exhaustively works around the clock, and you know, back in the day, he was supposedly just like sleeping on the floor at the Twitter head at the you know, at this fucking gigafactory. You know, me think thou dost protest too much. Methinks thou dost protest too much. Yeah, that's you might want to expound upon that, Snicker Pie. And I'm not no pressure, but anybody that wants to come on and elucidate us with respect to some of these concepts is certainly welcome. But Stanhope, yeah, I used to like Stanhope. He's also kind of not as funny as he used to be. I think a lot of these guys are just getting old too. But then I like Bingo, his girlfriend, man, and she had a seizure and a stroke and she fucking stroked out, and I didn't really like the way. I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth over the way that was handled. Just me personally. By old Stanhope and his group. Trump, Elon, 2024. I don't know, man. I've given up on. I've recognized I have zero ability to predict politics, but it's going to be interesting. I fully expect a second Democrat term, whether or not that's Biden or not remains to be seen. But I mean, if they can prop him up through one term, I don't see why they can't prop him up through two terms. If that's even the real same Joe Biden from back in the day, who even knows? But yeah, exactly. Stanhope was banging homeless schizo cheeks, says JG. Yes, indeed. She was pretty cute though, at least. And I do have a soft spot for a gal with a shaved head. She had her head shaved for a while. The jokes write themselves, EBT. But yeah, I've always ran into a stripper back in the day with a buzz cut. I didn't realize that I liked that until then. But I always did kind of think Grace Jones was attractive. But looking back on it, I think it was mainly the hairstyle. Of course, that's probably a man, right? I mean, it's got to be. JG says she wasn't cute. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Dude, I'll just be honest with you. My standards aren't that high, but yeah, to me, she was. Actually, she's pretty with long hair. If you've ever seen her with long hair. I think JG's just probably like I was when I was homeless. I wouldn't have anything to do with these homeless schizo broads. I only ever lowered myself onto one of them. Somebody I knew, not just some rando. I knew her for a period of time. Yeah, I never did like Britney personally. Christina Aguilera, I always thought I liked her, but never was. Britney always had that real thick waist. Couldn't deal with that. A little too thick in the waist. I'm trying to think of other folks. There was that Belladonna, that adult film actress. I don't like the term porn star. So that the adult film actress Belladonna, she had a buzz cut. there for a while. No, see, not even at 18. I'm not, no, not with you on that. Because there's just so many other attractive, hopefully, ladies to look at. That was like peak Salma Hayek back then. Like, why would I be concerned with Britney? But everybody, different strokes for different folks, as it were. We all have our proclivities. Melissa Monet. Well, another problem is a lot of these folks really are men. Like, that's a real thing. It's diabolical. Gwen Stefani, yeah, she was attractive. I'm not into blondes, generally speaking, but yeah. Good old Gwen. Oh, I haven't seen her lately. JG says plastic surgery took out old Gwen. Yeah, I haven't seen her lately. What about Madonna? You see that? I mean, I hate to even comment on that, but these recent pictures of Madonna. But then like the day after, Madonna's talking about trying to blame ageism. It's like, I don't know, you're the one that butchered your face. What a nightmare. Here's one seeking the anointing. This car in front of me. They desire to be anointed. It's 75. We dropped from 71 down to 62, and there they are. They're just right there. Look at them. Probably hard for y'all to see on the screen, but look, there they are, just right there in front of me. Not pulling away. Well, they're starting to pull away a little bit now. Maybe they'll try to catch up with that rig in front of them. See, they want somebody to pass them so that they will become anointed. Oh, they're actually going to just drive normally. It's amazing. This is just bizarre phenomenon when it's amazing how a large percentage of the populace, when they first get onto the interstate, will drive slowly for some period of time, and then they will later on speed up. I find it bizarre. But yeah, good on them. They actually fucked off down the road. Thank you for getting the fuck away from me. So I don't drive at 2 a.m. It's 1:22 Mountain Time. I don't come out here and drive at 1:20 in the morning to have to be around a bunch of bozos on the roads. Anybody got any topics? I seem to be running out of steam. The silence is deafening. And that Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the governor of my state, I saw a picture of her the other day, just looking like a man. And these fucking magabozos want to act like she's the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread. Do y'all remember when her daddy was governor of Arkansas and he was all fucking obese and shit the first time, and then he got all into dieting and was trying to run marathons and shit, calling himself an athlete. Got all skinny and looked ghastly when he was skinny, and then blew right the fuck back up because of course he did. Anybody remembers all of that? Then him trying to pretend like he was running for president. Please, just wait till this Sarah Huckabee Sanders runs for president. That'll happen at some point. Well, yeah, you're not wrong, Snicker Pie, about the women in politics, but I kind of disagree in a way because I was in Jonesboro, Arkansas one time, and I noticed I like to walk around and just look at shit, and there was a plaque, like this wrought iron like plaque, and it was commemorating one of the first lady Congress people ever in the United States, and I can't remember her name. She was from Arkansas, and it said something about it gave like all her accomplishments, and it said something like something about like a loyal Southern wife in the Southern tradition or something like that. And so like back in the day, that was a big part of being a woman. Apparently, not that I'll ever know what that's like, but just in the olden days, women were viewed in the context of being a wife. And then if anybody's seen that, I think it was a Netflix series with Julia Roberts. She played Martha Mitchell, who's actually from my hometown of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. She was married to, I believe, was that John Ashcroft? Was that the guy's name? Something like that. I can't remember the guy's. No, John Mitchell, of course. Sorry, John Mitchell. He was he Attorney General or something under Nixon? A big part of how they were viewed was, so yeah, it's like, okay, go into politics, but we're still going to view you from the lens of, you're a wife, and like, yeah, you might be in the Senate, but like you're number two in your own home type of thing. And not that that's a bad thing to be number two, but wife and a mother first. Yeah, well, yeah, building families and communities, but then, and this is, excuse me, this is where I kind of challenge people. Is like, but yeah, I understand you're saying we, but who is that group that you're? And I know I'm being pedantic here, but I think it is important. Like, who? Let me just apply it to myself. If I say we need to focus on building families and communities, who am I referring to when I say we? Like, I don't think that's really even clear. Like, okay, but what do we mean by? Because I think that does create an us versus them, in that the masses clearly have gone along with the program, and even the people who claim to be traditional family values conservatives are all divorced for the most part. Like, I can just wander into any random church in the South, and like more people are divorced than not, or have been divorced. And all this blended families and all this. I didn't grow up that way. My parents stayed married. They at least waited until we were all grown to, me and my two younger sisters. They waited till we were out of the house to get divorced. Yeah. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think it is very important to Snicker Pie to. I look at it more through the lens. I come at it from the negative, because I do believe our society has been overrun with toxic positivity, in that these things tend to be approached through a lens of, building things up, like building up family and community. I'm looking at it as, well, the nuclear family has been destroyed. So like, I'm not even talking about building. It's more of like, let's not, and again, who is the group of people, but, can people, individuals come together and just start to pick up the pieces of the damage that's been wrought versus, to me, the toxic positivity angle is, well, yeah, there's all these problems, but we're trying to move forward, positively to build something. But it's like, to me, it's like, well, can we recognize the smoldering wreckage of what has actually happened here? It's like, this is a literal jumbo jet has crashed into a field somewhere, and you folks are talking about building an airport. And I don't mean you folks, the listeners. I just mean in general. It's like, well, wait a minute, don't we need to address the smoldering pile of wreckage, and that there's actually still maybe some survivors can be, maybe shouldn't we at least look through the fucking wreckage for survivors before we before we have discussions about what color is the fucking outside of the airport going to be painted, and what brand of radar equipment is going to be purchased. Because that's what I see is a bunch of people who want to run around making plans for how to make things better, but like, shouldn't there be some time spent addressing just how horrible things are? Because even to say, well, to make things better, that sort of implies that things are okay on some level. It's like, no, as far as I'm concerned, none of this shit's okay that's going on in society. But then again, that's why I'm full doomer. Because to me, it's like, let's go. It's like we haven't hit the culture, the people, the individuals we haven't bottomed out yet. So if it's a race to the bottom, and society is still collapsing, and society is still going in the wrong direction, it seems to me like, that process. I don't believe that process can really be reversed in the near term. I would think hitting bottom would be required, and then sort of be in neutral there for a while, and to at least recognize, wow, that really sucked. That plane crash, that was horrible, and let's let this dust settle here and kind of get us survey the landscape, and okay, now assess, what would be the next move versus just these notions of, well, things can still be salvaged, in the current paradigm of society. And I'm like, no, it's not possible. This cannot be salvaged. I don't think there's anything worth salvaging out of all of this, really, realistically. And then you do have people like Drew, who's actually with a woman raising his kids. I mean, to me, what else can somebody do other than that, And let's face the reality that a lot of us are not participating in that. We're either too old, or it's just not, it's not something that's part of our path, right? Every man hath not the same office. But, if I want to see society, in some sort of positive place in the future, which I'm very pessimistic collectively, I'm very pessimistic, but at an individual level, such as an actual nuclear family, a biological male and a biological woman, and their own children, and not a blended family. Not that there's anything wrong with the blended family, but can we face the reality that that's less than ideal? So, I mean, certainly we can recognize that the best way to raise a child is in a home with a man who's, the father born a man and a mother born a woman, and no step siblings and no blended families. That's obviously the best way, seems to me. But see, that's controversial. So, okay, let's go out here and try to, heal society, but you won't even get people to agree about that. Oh, are you saying it's that gay people can't raise kids? Well, if I believe that, I would say that. What I'm saying is what's best for the kid. It has nothing to do with whether or not a homo can properly parent in an individual scenario. That has nothing to do with it. I'm saying what would be best for that kid. That there is and it's, oh, you can't judge, you can't compare. Yeah, of course you can. It's objectively better to raise a child in that manner, which in no way implies that all other ways of raising that. See the logical fallacy there, that people will try to misconstrue that. Oh, I'm trying to say that it's bad to do it any other way. Well, no, I didn't say that. But obviously, one way is superior to all the other ways. Obviously, which just happens to be what's. And again, this is not a religious channel, and this is not a Bible discussion, but that is in the Bible. Basically, like more or less, that's what's laid out as what is the way to do it. So how about just fuck off and go do that and see what happens? Worst case scenario, we, meaning society, can just go back to the whatever horrific nightmare we're currently engaged in. We can always go back to that if the experiment in just so-called traditional families, if that fails, which it won't, you can always go back to the Babylon and just complete debauchery, open debauchery in the streets. As I speak to you folks via government servers, government meaning Benito Mussolini's conception of the state, corporate fascism, here in Alphabet, Google, YouTube's hell pit. Pirate live streams for the zombie apocalypse, but I don't know how it can really be a pirate broadcast when I'm coming to you from. This is literally television now. YouTube. I am the television. We've gone full max headroom here. Why not? Buy the ticket, take the ride, as it were. Well, that's the thing. The drag queen, talking about the drag queen story hour or whatever. I mean, but I think that's an excellent point. It needs to go, but how did it ever get here in the first place? I mean, to me, that's not the problem. Is now we've got, now people need to figure out how to get rid of drag queen story hour. To me, it's like, how did people ever allow this to happen in the first place? Because, back in the, and look, where I grew up is certainly nothing to celebrate, but there's no fucking way that shit could have happened. This is literally impossible. So now we're somehow inferior to ignorant rednecks. Literal gay bashing rednecks. Yeah, I don't believe in gay bashing either, but there weren't going to be no drag queen story hour. Meanwhile, the redneck's driving his pickup truck down the gravel road, and it's Boy George, his Culture Club on the radio. He doesn't turn. You think he changes the channel because he's transphobic or whatever? Or not that Boy George is trans, but I think you understand what I'm saying. It's like, these are not intolerant people, by the way. They're just not gonna tolerate actual things that are bad for children necessarily. And again, if I want to have an intellectual discourse, I'm going to have to go find me a lefty commie somewhere who probably does want to allow the drag queens into the public library to access to children directly. And that's the job of the fucking redneck in this scenario, to say, well, no, actually, we're not fin to do that. Partner. Why has that died off? I understand that the lefty commie arguably has a place, as much as it's that the fact that the lefty commie has been allowed to take over. That, to me, that's the issue. And back in the day, it was the right-wing bozos, the so-called right-wing bozos, trying to ban books and get rid of certain music, and it was the lefties clamoring for free speech. Well, of course, because that was, it was their writings that were being censored. It wasn't, anything other than that. So now it's completely flipped. Yeah, that's a good point about the fake churches. Yeah, well, if the churches were doing their job, then obviously none of this could happen. But the fact is, in America, you can't, there's not going to be any subjugation of the women. So The fact, like it or not, to practice a Christianity involves the subjugation of women. It just does. I mean, that's the word subjugation has a specific meaning. Like, you're not going to practice biblical Christianity without subjugating women. Just, you can't. Those two things cannot. They're mutually exclusive. Well, let's face the reality that we live in a society now where you got literally, I've observed them. You got 25-year-old young women running around proclaiming themselves to be Christians, and they cannot process any concept of being subjugated by a male in any context. Well, then they can't practice their religion. Period. It's in their book. But I've heard them on live streams thinking they're right wing and talking about Jesus. And the first thing I'm typing in the live chat, oh, okay, so you're married to a man that you're submitted to, meaning I'm just saying, I understand there's no fucking way this 25-year-old woman. Now, maybe there are 25-year-old women that are living that way, but they're not on the internet on right-wing live stream talking like they're men about Jesus and need to stop these lefties. They would be too busy at home baking a cake, Susie Homemaker, right? But that's oppressive. So how are you going to have Christian women socialized in an environment where the very notion of preparing a meal for a man is oppressive to their very existence? I mean, that's where we're at in society. I mean, that's literally, and that's what I'm talking about when I say I've studied this gender studies, intersectionality, and feminism. I've actually studied it, although not as much as I've studied some other topics, because I'm not that fascinated by it. But that's a real thing, man. Like that is part of their brainwashing, or it's part of their interface in this present society, is that performing these traditional wifely roles is literally interpreted by them as being oppressed. And they could call themselves MAGA, Trump supporting right wingers all they want who believe in Jesus. But what does it matter if they don't act on any of it? So, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying that it effectively doesn't exist in the younger generations. I'm from the South, believe me. Some of these 25-year-old women are living the way they are submitted to their husbands. And they're, some version of barefoot pregnant, by the way. Literally barefooted in the kitchen, cooking their man a meal. Like, I'm from Arkansas. That is still a thing, right? But those are considered, people that are so impoverished and poorly educated. That's the bless their hearts segment. Like, basically, when they know better, like we do, then they'll do better. We'll just give them a little pat on the head because they're in this lower state of evolution. And living in their look, because you can afford, dude. You could go out and rent a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in Arkansas right now for probably $700 a month. Like, no bullshit. If you want to live out in the county somewhere, like, that's still a thing. And I know these people. It exists, but it's dying off, right? What's going on, Razvan? Good to see you, sir. But yeah, definitely the churches are not, and they're co-opted. Alex Jones has been talking about the 501. That is a real thing. It's just a corporation. Religion's a business, just like everything else in this country. Scam upon scam upon scam. So what do we expect? I mean, certainly, humans understand that the way to salvation is not by going to a building and hanging out with their fellow humans. Like, that's clearly not the path to salvation. And I understand that the book, and I don't want to preach too hard, but I will preach a little bit because I am a preacher. But I understand the book says something about fellowship, but I'm pretty sure it means good fellowship, not any fellowship. So, I think this preconceived notion that if I go to a building with people in it, that represents good fellowship. That's not necessarily true. In fact, I'm probably better off staying home in that context. Well, and and I'm not one of these, talking about the younger generations. I'm not one of these older people, and I'm not saying that you do this either. I just mean it's something I know when I was younger, and even to this day, the fact is, actual boomers, most of them won't listen to me because I'm 20 years younger than them. So what could I possibly know about anything, right? They just assume that they have more knowledge and wisdom solely based on being older than me, right? But I've learned a lot from some of the younger generations, and the fact is, they are better than us in many ways. Now we can view them, Gen X and Boomers. We can view the millennials and the younger generations as lazy all we want, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. They've been hearing us, they've observed us, and they've been hearing us talk for years now about how fucked up and nightmarish society is. And then now it's like, okay, now go out there and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and have a good work ethic and, go fucking carpe diem nuts and, the American dream. Well, yeah, okay, the American dream's dead, but just go out there and work hard and get ahead. It's a mixed message, man. And that ties in with what we talk about with the, now especially the boomers, they're all baby truthers. So it's like on one side of their mouth, they'll talk about the American dream is dead, but it's not dead in your brain. It's still alive in your consciousness, boomer. So you're literally expecting the young folks to go out here and act upon this American dream that you're trying to tell me is dead, but you still believe in it at some level, boomer. And I don't mean the people listening right now. I'm preaching to the choir, but this is a real thing, man. This is how convoluted and fucked up people's psychology is, and just the cognitive dissonance. But the same people who are experiencing cognitive dissonance will go out here and talk about cognitive dissonance. Like, that's how deeply embedded this stuff is, and just how pernicious and pervasive it is as well. There's your PP code. Shout out to Jurassic Liars 26. Pervasive. It's a pernicious and pervasive. The programming is pernicious and persuasive and pervasive. The persuasive programming is pernicious. Anyway, there's a tongue twister. I'll need to write that down to really figure that out, but I think you know what I'm saying here. Yeah, I don't know where you're at talking about the home and the rent prices, but yeah. And the South is now expensive, by the way. It's just that the places that you might actually say are still affordable are so unappealing to anybody who's not from there. It's like, yeah, they say now Fort Smith, Arkansas is the least expensive, city in the country as far as whatever whatever, when they sort all the areas by population, a minimum population, whatever that minimum population is, Fort Smith, Arkansas, where my father just moved from, is the most affordable apparently. But it's like, yeah, no, but you can't really just move there if you're from a different culture. It's kind of its own thing. I guess if somebody telecommutes, never leaves their home, but then, why not just move into the fucking some high rise somewhere and just be warehoused in some kind of pod, like the Japanese, those ideas the Japanese have been trying to promote for years now. Just here's your little fucking pod. These highly educated bozos, can't they afford a pod in Manhattan? $1,500 a month for a pod somewhere. Well, thank you, Snicker Pie. Wants to know how long until I reach my destination. Well, I actually won't reach it until tomorrow, which is Dallas Fort Worth, where I'm going. No, I'm going to Houston. See, I forgot where I'm even going. Oh, that'll be interesting actually, because I'm so used to taking I-20. I may actually forget to take I-10. That'll be interesting. We'll get out that way. But yeah, today I'm stopping somewhere out in the middle of nowhere on I-10 in Texas. So I try to be a little vague. Not that anybody's ever going to come try to find me, but I should probably at least minimize the possibilities. But is IRL even a thing anymore? Really, realistically speaking, I think that's just dead and buried. I'm not really sure I miss it, and I'm observing more and more because I am in public some of the time. People just seems like a lot of people have just completely given up on even attempting to interact with one another. Fine by me. I think there was kind of maybe due to the events of the last few years, I was noticing in the public this people hadn't quite learned yet that they can't really just get away with just going into public and just being aggressive. I think I saw some people who maybe in the past weren't behaving aggressively, but I'm a person who's very aggressive by nature. The problem with going out and behaving aggressively just as a standard operating procedure is that when a person does that and then runs into somebody like me, I always react aggressively to someone else's aggression. It's like, well, really, do you really want to run into just? And I'm not violent. I just mean aggressive. Like I'll just straight up be like, "Oh, fuck me. Well, fuck you." It's like, what's the counter strategy for you try to get your way aggressively, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to be aggressive right back to you. What now? Like it's kind of and I know I'm probably not making a whole lot of sense, but it just sort of, where do we go from here? So I think people are starting to. It was like an overcorrection into overly aggressiveness. It seems to be settling out where it's just like, okay, let's just all leave each other alone. And then just the general incompetency, and it's so difficult to actually get anything accomplished in the real world. Well, and apologies, I'm going to have to not look at the live chat because I never stop at this fuel stop. I don't think I've ever fueled at this place. I got 36 miles, and I will just cruise right past this thing if I'm not looking at the GPS on my other phone. I'll just drive right past it. So that's what's going on there. I guess I better go ahead and plug the phone in. Yeah, maybe that's just live stream till the battery runs out. Oh, sorry for whoever's calling in. Yeah. Hey, I think that might be Razvan. I don't know. Hello.
Howdy. How's it going?
Razvan, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm coming down from Scotland.
Oh, really? Scotland? How was that?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
I was alright. I had a delivery, but no collection. 280 miles empty. I'm going back to my depot.
I see. How was your weekend?
Was alright. Spent with some friends, barbecue, drinks. I got shit-faced on Sunday.
Oh, excellent. That's always fun. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm out here in, where am I? New Mexico. Oh, I got inspected again today for the second time in 2 weeks. DOT inspection.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
Is that like the public officers that stop you?
Yeah, but it was at a weigh station, so I just had to show like the registration and my ID and my hours of service. So some companies give $50 like a gift card for a clean inspection, but this company doesn't do that. That's okay though.
Anthony, here in UK, police is so chill. Inspections on trucks, they're really chill. I never got inspected. I've been in England since 2014. I've seen their van like a couple of times. But get this, rest of Europe is really bad.
Oh, really?
In Romania, I went 15 minutes over driving time because I couldn't find a parking space. I got €1,000 fine.
Damn, that's crazy.
And here in England, I went on red, and cops told me, "Oh, just be careful next time."
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. People are so evil in like in my country, police, inspectors, everybody. They're just looking to fuck you in some way.
Ah, yeah, yeah. America, sometimes it's like that, and sometimes it's not. It just kind of depends on what's going on. But they like to. What they do here is certain times of year they get really strict about equipment. They want all the equipment to be in perfect working order. So, which is okay. I don't mind. But
Mm.
brakes are a big thing.
What's the period for inspection on your truck?
I
A
think
month?
they do once a year. As far as I think the government requires that, but then they can stop anytime they want to and inspect the equipment. So some
All
of
right.
these way
Like,
stations have these like a big. They have a big barn where you can drive into this barn, and then the officer can go underneath the rig and check everything. The air lines and the brake chambers and all of that.
here
So that happens sometimes.
in England is every 4 weeks. I guess
Oh,
that's why
really?
they don't
Wow.
stop trucks. Yeah, every
Hmm.
4 weeks I gotta drop my truck for inspection.
Okay. Yeah, I wish they would do
Yeah,
it that way here, because then I wouldn't have to worry about just getting stopped, willy nilly. Yeah, regularly.
yeah,
That seems like a better way to do it to me.
yeah. It's like rest of Europe is 1 year, like in America. In England, they're really strict, so I guess that's why they have safer roads as well. It's a pain in the ass every 4 weeks, but
Well, so yeah.
oh well.
Well, so what happens on my job is because they don't do these regular inspections like you're talking about. So if they inspect the equipment and something is wrong, then they put me out of service, and I literally have to just stay there until a mechanic comes and fixes the problem. So that's happened to me twice now, where I just have to stay at the way station, and it usually takes like all day long for the mechanic shows up, and then they have to go back to town to get parts, and it's like a whole big. It's basically like all day long to get it done. It's very
Yeah,
wastes a lot of
that's a
time.
pain.
Yeah, it's just annoying. It would be better to just check it every month, like they do over there. Just check it once a month, and then at least if you have to fix the problem, you don't have the driver just like doing nothing all day. It's very inefficient.
Yeah,
So this load that I'm hauling, I picked it up at nighttime, which is unusual. I usually don't pick up loads at nighttime. So after they loaded the trailer, when the guy is doing the paperwork, it turned out that their customer did not pay their bills, so they wouldn't let me leave with the load until the next day, because they had to wait until the next day to talk to the customer about the money situation. So just now the load's going to be like a whole day late, because they just held me there for no fucking reason other than accounting. You know, America's got a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
stupid bullshit like that. America just has a lot of just stupid bullshit like that where there's just no reason for it. There's just no real reason for that to ever happen, but it does.
So your company gonna be taxed for being late?
No, we had nothing to do with it. It had
Yeah, yeah.
nothing to do with me or my company. It was literally the shit. It was between the shipper and the receiver. It had nothing to do with us.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous though. Just the fact and I don't let it get me upset. But what if I had a family and I'm trying to go home for the weekend, and now, like, what if it's my kid's birthday or something, and now like I missed my kid's birthday because of an accounting error? Like that shit really happens to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this job is not too great for a married person.
No, it's terrible. I don't have a life, so
Yeah.
it's great for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Get
don't.
a life,
Doesn't matter to
Doctor.
me. What? No, I don't
Get
have
a
a
life,
life
man.
compared. No, no, no. I don't have a life compared to other people. What other people consider a life, I don't have. That's what I
Yeah,
mean when I don't have a life.
I was
Most
joking. You know how
people,
people.
man, yeah. Most people couldn't function without a wife, kids, family. They literally couldn't function without those things. So that's
Oh
what I
yeah, it's
mean by
really
I
bad.
don't have a life. Yeah.
It's really bad. I've seen it. That's why they delete themselves when they get
Mhm.
divorce rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
Most most people can't stay by themselves more than a week.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I mean by a life, because I used to have a life in that sense, and it never really helped me any that I could. I think I'm better off without it personally, just for me myself.
Mhm. Yeah, like for me, uh, in a relationship, I would get like I felt choked. You know, like I felt like I needed time for myself,
Yeah.
but you can't really.
No, the woman never understands that. They just think that you're trying to go meet other women. Probably. Did we lose Razvan, or am I disconnected? What happened here? I can't hear you, brother. I don't know what's going on though. Did he free? He might be frozen. You might need to call back in, Razvan. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Everything's good on my end as far as I can tell. We'll see. Maybe he'll come back.
Yeah, I think I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
This.
Hey, you broke. Hey, you broke up for a minute, but go ahead. You're back now.
I was saying like I miss that life, and when I'm in that life, I miss this life, being by myself. It's kind
Oh
of weird.
yeah, yeah. I agree, man. But
Place.
why can't people just accept that? Hey, they meet somebody like you that they like, but the woman's. Why can't they just be like, okay, but we have to leave him alone sometime? Like it's just
Uh,
not possible. It doesn't. It's not possible for whatever reason.
yeah, because they want to be the center of attention all the time.
Yeah, and I don't want to criticize women because men do that also, but you know, I think there's just a lot of neediness as far as like an insecurity when the man's not around. But then it's also, well, if
Uh,
he's right here, then he's not off meeting other women, right?
yeah.
I think there's something to that also. And I remember I worked with a guy. He was a manager at this restaurant, and he had just married this really attractive. She's very physically attractive woman, and they were always talking to each other on the phone like all day long. And I finally figured it out. Like, oh, this is how they show each other they're not cheating. This is a constant communication. It's not that they really have anything to talk
Yeah.
about, all fucking day
Yeah,
long,
but
man. Oh, I wouldn't be able to deal with it.
that gets soul crushing.
Of course.
Crushes your soul after a while.
Well, but for these people, probably not for 10 years, but yeah, eventually, sure. Probably so. I'm not recommending that, that's for sure, but because what I found in my in real life interactions with people, pretty much anytime there's a problem, it could be solved by the other person just leaving me the fuck alone. I mean, that would solve the majority of the issues. Just leave me the fuck alone. But people are very unable to do that in most cases. Just go
Yeah, that's
away,
true.
wait a few hours, and then come back, and everything will be fine. But it's just cannot be done for some reason. I find it very interesting to observe these dynamics in human beings. I get a kick out of it.
Yeah, they can't leave you alone
No.
because they think they're superior to you. So how can you not give the other person attention? You know?
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, that's. I never really thought about it that way, but I know when I'm talking to somebody, I can tell if they want me to leave them alone, and I just go away. I don't think it's that complicated of a thing. Usually I can tell, okay, this person's kind of sick of my bullshit. Maybe I'll just fuck off and come back later, and then everything's fine.
Yeah, but if you notice, like most of the people that can't leave you alone, they're popular in a big social circle. So like when someone like me or you, that maybe we don't look up to people like that. Like me, for
Yeah,
example,
that's
I
true.
don't have idols anymore. I don't care about actors, singers, all that shit. Went out the window.
Yeah,
So
I got
when
you.
somebody's popular in a big group, you refusing to look up to him. It's weird
Yeah, I
for
think I
them.
know what you mean. Although I was that person in my peer groups growing up. When I was a kid, I was that person you're describing. But
Yeah,
I'm from Arkansas, though. Wasn't very difficult to be like at the head of the pack. So it's among my stupid
I,
friends.
I was
No
never
big
that
deal.
person. I used to be a bully in school.
Oh, really? Wow. Hmm. Well, the strategy for dealing with a bully is to bully the bully. Bully can never stand. If you just do it to the bully, they can't tolerate it.
My internet is shit, man.
Oh yeah, you broke up a little bit earlier, so I gotta say mine works pretty good. My Verizon, it works pretty much all the time. Very impressive. I'm like way over 100 gig this month. It's
Can you
still
hear me
working.
now?
Yeah, I hear you. Yep. Yes, sir. And the fuel prices are so high. I keep getting these owner operators trying to ride right behind my trailer, trying to draft. They're trying to cut down the wind so they can get better fuel economy. It's already happened like 3 times this morning. Oh, we lost Razvan. Oh well, he'll be back probably. I'm almost to the fuel stop, so I probably won't bring him back on. If he comes back up, I'll probably wait until after the fuel stop. And then we always have the option of multiple people coming on and talking to each other, so I can have a break. But whatever's clever. And again, not interacting with the chat solely based on I need to be able to. I have to have the visual reminder, or I will forget to exit the freeway. So I'm staring at my GPS. I never take this. This is oh, I need to call the company too here shortly, and let them know to turn on my fuel card since I can't be trusted with an activated fuel card for whatever reason. And it's always blamed on, well, these other drivers, they don't do the right thing. It's like, yeah, but I do the right thing 99% of the time. So why do I have to be punished for their bad behavior? So it's like what Adam Carolla has said. There's really no such thing as good credit. It's just a person doesn't have bad credit. You don't actually get anything for having good credit. It's just you don't suffer from bad credit. You can't ever just be like, well, but I'm the person who does things the right way. It's like, yeah, but we're still going to treat you like the person who does things the wrong way. Oh, okay, great. wonderful society we've crafted for ourselves here at that level. Same thing with there's a function on the electronic logs called personal conveyance where I can actually drive but not drive on my, it won't go against my drive time. But because some drivers have abused that feature, now it's just disabled for everybody. It's like, okay, but I'm never going to abuse the feature, so you can leave mine turned on. But no, I'm guilty also. So it's like no such thing as good behavior. It's just, you know, I'm automatically punished at the level of bad behavior, even though I've never engaged in it myself. And part of that is the government has cracked down on it, so I understand. But it's like still, can you recognize? I'll just tell me how you want me to use it, and I'll just do it that way. But I do also recognize most people are not capable of. They're not able to resist. Oh, I can turn on this feature and keep driving. Okay, we'll just do that. It's like, no, that's not how it works. That would be against the law, sir. That's a DOT violation. Yeah, that was interesting about the peer groups. I'm fascinated with peer groups, like Razvan was talking about. But I was always pretty much always the leader of my stupid bozo friends. Although, you know, it's not across the board, but for the most part. Not that I wanted to be necessarily. Just worked out that way. But then again, if you go find one of them big birthday books, like at the bookstore, there's usually a birthday book. If you cruise over to August 12th, it'll pretty much all it talks about is leadership. Not that there's anything to that necessarily, but there's something to it, I think. And I do want to get a little more into the astrology type of information. For entertainment purposes only, of course. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the fuck out of New Mexico. I think I said I was in Texas earlier. I'm actually still in New Mexico. No bicycles, according to that sign. And I'll never understand that I've got this truck I'm trying to pass. They're just fighting me to the absolute death. Just never understood that. Dude, just drop 1 mile an hour. Let me get in front of you. What's so hard about that? That's what I do. Although they might be trying to draft. They might be trying to tuck in behind me. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're cleverly trying to use me for the draft. Trying to save that fuel. Some of these owner operators. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Out here trying to save a little fuel. Okay, we're pulling away now. Yeah, buddy. Oh, and I missed Yurt's live stream last night. I don't know what happened, but usually I'm able to watch the replay, but it told me that it wasn't available. I don't know if he just, but I had the notification, so actually it was still under his live tab. It just wouldn't play, so who knows? But after altering my sleep schedule to pick this load up, only to have to remain there, until the next day, I needed to go to sleep early last night, get back on track. Oh man. It's like, oh yeah, let me call this company real quick. Call my company. I'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jason, truck 22439. I'm almost to my fuel stop in Las Cruces, Mexico. Turn on my card. All right, thank you. You too. Bye bye. All right.
And we're back. Whew. A little nauseated here. That's fairly normal for me, though. Be sick to my stomach. Yep. I've been feeling not so bad lately, though. I don't know. It's just up and down. I don't feel like I might vomit, though. Not good. I haven't actually vomited in quite some time. Huh. Well, if I can wait. If you can wait 6 miles, maybe that's what's going to happen here. Although I do have a trash can back here. All right. Guess I better mute the mic. Situation normal, all fucked up. A mere dry heave. Nothing too serious. Better enjoy me while you can. I'm not quite sure how much longer this is going to last in its present incarnation, anyway. But definitely grateful and feel blessed to be able to mind the fiat and talk to you fine folks. Enjoy a quality of life. Because certainly, as mentioned before, the medical system would happily ruin my quality of life in exchange for making a profit off of my numerous chronic illnesses. Which is kind of funny because both sides of my family, there's really very little chronic illness. Some, but not many, not much. to speak of. Like nobody has heart attacks. Nobody fucking gets cancer hardly. Although my grandfather, I guess he had a hematoma. That was that like brain cancer. He was like in his 80s. Kind of unusual. Ben's once famous grandfather, who's not really famous now. Of course, he died right before 9/11, right before the terrorist attacks of September the 11th of 2001. He passed shortly before that. Exit 139. I don't know that I've ever stopped here, actually. Many times as I've driven by this place. Las Cruces. Too close to El Paso, I guess, for me to stop here on my own volition. Although there is a rest area I think we just passed or we're about to pass. It's got some kind of sculpture of like a big metal bird. I parked there overnight a couple of times. Getting sick again. In my stomach. No bueno. I might go ahead and shut it down, maybe. I'm not really sure. I always like to give it a little time to try to figure out if I'm going to sometimes I'll just, if I quit too early, I will immediately think of things I wanted to talk about. Well, bear with me. Maybe we'll just take a little break. Possibly. Definitely not feeling well, though. Got to remember to get this way station. Call it a pre-pass. Got to get this pre-pass turned on. And when I get back to Dallas, I got to get a steer tire replaced. Steer axle tire on the passenger side. And the driver's side needs a shock, but they haven't been able to get the parts. Might need to get the brakes checked out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. But I always say this, and then I never actually do it. But I might be back later. Thanks for watching. Bye.